Good morning, Service Lines community. How y'all doing today? Brother Doug,
What's up, Zach?
what's up, man?
I've owned a house now since 2008, 2005. That's a long time, right? I'm old. 2 times we've had water issues, like water damage, both of them like broken pipes. I was just hoping to get that one where you get like a whole new house because the water is coming out of the basement's windows and stuff. But each time, like the first time, Ben, who's now 16, my son, I was going to take him to the park. He's like 5, and I'm eating lunch at this island, and I hear, and like the hot water stainless steel line, braided line to the dishwasher snaps. It's like whipping around under the sink. So I catch it fast enough that, I'm not going to do an insurance claim. And now I have like a warped sink cabinet, and I had to do all the work to clean it up. Same thing happened this Saturday, man. Down in the basement, my wife goes down there, and a pipe burst, and it was just early enough that it made it like a weekend project. It still smells a little moldy that from the basement with 2 dehumidifiers and fans going. But I don't know. Is it bad for me to wish for like to be out at the library or something while the house is floating and get a new house? I don't know. What do you think? What does Jesus think?
Working with insurance companies?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Nightmare, right? Yeah.
Just no, you don't. So I've taken that new role, right? I'm kind of in the diagnostics of roofing. That sounds weird, but it is what it is, right?
Right.
Why is this leaking? Why can't we do this repair? Or why can we do this repair? Whatever.
Yeah.
And my days are spent arguing with people that don't understand how construction works, like how things are put together, and why what they're asking is unreasonable. So I spend a lot of time creating videos and pictures and working with the team. The team puts like these guides together that's like, okay, here's what you asked us to do, here's why.
Yeah.
So no,
Yeah.
you don't want to have to deal with
No, I know. The insurance companies, you're almost always going to lose in the end. So
you have a duty to prove, but they don't want to accept your proof. So
we had the company. We went to a service call, changed a defrost, heater, and limiter, like a GE side by side, truck stock, classic one. And the tech also changed the timer too. Now we don't keep a GE timer on the truck.
Just happen to have one.
No, the tech ordered it. So it was all truck stock items, and you're like, are you kidding me? This is why, we can be so much more efficient and make so much more money. So he orders everything original, which was a blessing in disguise because 3 months later, 4 months later, the house goes up in flames.
Oof.
And the dog dies, right? So now we don't know that this happened, and now we get a phone call, and they're saying that the house burned down. It was in the kitchen. It might have been by the refrigerator. So that insurance company just goes and looks, tag your it. So there's a GE lawyer there at the house. I'm at the house. Our insurance company's at the house. We've hired a lawyer as well. And we're all walking through this half-burnt house. And, it took months. And I was thinking if we put in some of these generic parts, Amazon parts, I mean, that's exactly what insurance companies are looking for to place blame. So I see it on Facebook almost every week, somebody commenting about why not just do that. And that's the reason. So here's the deal. Had nothing to do with the refrigerator. So that was the potential dodge bullet. Well, our insurance renewal came in, 6,000 of the $128,000 or $150,000 got tacked onto us. I don't even know why. So it's a claim against us. It's one of 2 claims, which is causing our rates to go up for the next 3 years. So all these insurance companies do is like a big poker game.
It is
going around just trying to see who will fold. Yep, and then a percentage of blame everywhere. And it all comes out of our pocket, you know?
So you guys who have tuned in already are sitting there going, what the hell does this have to do with non-education? This is the stuff that you learn in the
Life of hard knocks. Yeah. Yeah, right.
This is the stuff that comes in apprentice.
Yeah. That's funny.
Hit this real quick. Good morning, Harrison. Good morning, Gary. And good morning, EJ. Glad to have you guys along with us. I put your comments up already, but acknowledge your presence and thank you for being here. We are talking non-traditional methodology, YouTube University, apprenticing, these things that aren't the Department of Education, right? And the places of higher learning. We're talking about those methodologies, and I'm excited for it. So, Doug, pray
us in.
Let's get this going.
Lord God, we thank you for this day. We thank you that we are awake, that you have blessed us with this opportunity to be the light of the world, the people around us. Lord God, as I was reminded yesterday in church, we all need to be careful ticking off the box that we loved our Lord with all our heart, mind, and soul. We need to be careful, Lord, to think that we've got you all figured out, that we are in your full graces, which we are through your death on the cross, but that our actions, our thoughts, our deeds, even my semi-serious, semi-joking insurance claim joke, Lord, you know our hearts and minds. And so help us be pure, help us be pure light to our employees, to our customers, to the world around us. Help us cause people to pause and to reflect and to question why we are here. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I have together, do we have a college? Do we have enough classes in community college to get a degree?
Yeah, together we do.
All right.
Ooh, yeah, we could have a bachelor's together.
Nice. Oh, that's yeah. All right, I like
it. If we go with our outside the world experience, I think we both have doctorates at this point.
That's it.
No, so we see it in the groups all the time. We see people knocking YouTube University. Now, I will say your average homeowner YouTubing stuff, without the other technical knowledge behind it, that's bad juju. Like that's
sure.
You can be really skating a line there, right? But someone with technical expertise and understanding of some mechanics and some electricity and some of the things that we do, right? Going through some YouTube videos to gain a deeper understanding of what they know. I think there's a lot of value in that, right? You can really further yourself more than
yeah. Absolutely. I think there's a discernment, and you have to know yourself and have a realistic approach about yourself. Mm-hmm. I know over the years, I'd finish a repair on a direct drive washer, and I'd come upstairs and say, "Man, that was fast." And I thought that was a compliment. But what they were doing, they were struggling that I took care of it so quickly. Mm-hmm. And so now I've come to realize, like when I bring one of our vans in and they do a fast repair, and I go, wow, that was fast. That was the quickest $500 you ever made. Like, I don't say those things anymore. It's been a long time because I didn't realize you're just being a douche. So I go to YouTube a lot. I own a house, and I go there to most of the time find out that I don't think I want to put the time and energy to do it really well. So I'm going to pass and hire someone to build that retaining wall. Just because I can do it. It looks like I can do it. I bet you I can pause this sucker, but I don't want to do it. So the last thing I would do is question the landscaper that came in and their price point. Obviously, I get a couple quotes, but same thing with roofs. I think people just don't watch a video and see if you've got the ability to be meticulous, to be organized, to be technical about the whole thing. And if not, then shut up and hire somebody, right?
Yeah. So for our people, for our industry, right? There's a lot of non-traditional, and I use that in quotes because if we think traditional, right? What's the traditional way of learning? What the Department of Education and all this crap that we have going on in America with sending our kids to school for 8 or 10 hours a day and making them figure out how to fill out test bubbles is actually more non-traditional than the traditional way, right? Like studying to a test is it's not natural, it's not traditional, right. It's not in my opinion helpful. The true traditional master and apprentice, right? Like
science was done that way early on. It was, the teacher and a couple students, and they figured it out together, right?
And in my education over the years, my non-standard, non-traditional education, I've been mentored in that way many times. From a learning appliance repair, I learned from a guy who'd been doing it for 40 years. He would do it. Then he would watch me, like kind of help me. And then, hey, do it. I'm going to watch you do this. And then you begin to train people behind that, right? I think that is one of the best methods. We don't always have time for that type of training, or we have a more limited time frame with that. But I think there's a lot of value in that way of training. How did you learn, Doug?
Well, appliance repair, the company had a training program. It wasn't terrific, but trial by fire type thing. Saw a lot of people come and go through this company because you kind of had to have some independence there. You had to have a desire to try to work through it and figure it out. That thing goes with running the business too. I mean, I didn't break Action Appliance. That's good, right? But what a blessing and an opportunity it was to be able to learn from it. And what I've come to realize over the last couple of years is I'm going to have a mentor for the rest of my life because you can be mentored in an area like you had the owner of Gordon's mentor you and teach you how to repair appliances, and probably had some business philosophies that you still have to this day, but you can't rest on that. You have to keep on scaling up your mentorship and your training. So that's important. And to begin to mentor back as well. So it's a forward backward thing for the rest of your life. If you take this route, right?
Yeah, I think that's so important. And I think, and I've said it before, I learned some business from him. I probably learned a lot of wrong business from him. He got in like a lot of guys back in the days, firefighter, they're, 1 on, 2 off, or 2 on, 2 off, whatever that schedule was. And so, his methodology of running the business is, hey, if the books start like not looking like we're going to pay the bills, then I just won't take a paycheck. And, I got my pension to fall back on. And so some of the things I learned follow that, which wasn't good because I didn't have a pension to follow back on, right? And so, but we learn some core things in that. We learn more as we go along. I learn more by being around others. I learn by being around Doug, even though we're across the country from each other, right?
Yeah.
And so these non-traditional mentoring, mentee, master and apprentice, right? Like we learn that stuff, and it's so valuable. You can get a lot of education, a lot of mentoring in YouTube and books and stuff like that, right? I think the most important skill when you're doing that is to learn how to save the wheat and throw the chaff, right? And so what I mean by that is there's a lot of YouTube experts out there, self-professed,
Yeah.
giving a lot of bad advice. I think there's, so I guess if you're looking for a mentor, look for someone who's humble. Listen, Doug and I will be the first to tell you we don't know everything.
You know what I noticed about some of these chat GPT thing or the AI, you ask it a question, it gets you the answer, right? But you know what I like about what almost all the AIs are doing is they're telling you how and why it came to that answer. And it's so important that we look at that so that our brain continues to learn. If I'm trying to figure out some sort of equation to calculate a percentage or the difference of something in the business world, I need to, I can use AI to help me there, but I need to understand how it came to that and ask the why. So that's the most important thing of all, whether you're in a traditional school setting or not, or being mentored or being, excuse me, apprenticed. Ask why, think about why. That's what I did in between driving from house to house, clutching the steering wheel sometimes tighter because I'm frustrated. I'm asking why. And so, is it, and what should I do or say differently? Why would someone respond that way? What should I do differently next time? All those things help you no matter where. I mean, even vendors. So I try to hire vendors that are teachers as well.
Yeah.
Because I want to become good enough to be able to hang with them and understand. So a great bookkeeper, a year and a half later, I'm pretty good. I mean, EJ maybe still on listening. I'm showing EJ some parts of my P&L going, I don't understand this. Do you understand this? And we're trying to figure it out together. He knows more than me. I am so grateful to ask a lot of questions and have teachers even in the vendor setting, because it is a lifelong learning approach for us, right?
Yeah, I think that is critical. I'm a why person, right? So if you just tell me to do something, but you don't tell me the why behind it, you're going to get a lot of pushback. From me, because I don't, if I don't have a complete understanding,
Right.
I won't do it. I will fight tooth and nail. And I've taken that to my training methods, right? So I've been teaching sound guys for 15 years, and it's taken me a while to kind of hone my teaching method, but I've finally gotten to a point where I'm comfortable and confident and able to do it with some proficiency, right? Not perfect, but some proficiency. And as I'm teaching these guys, we're talking about the why. Why is it important to hear that? Or why is it important to do it in that order? Or why is it important to do this thing and not that thing? Right. With anything we do, that why it is so important for a holistic understanding. Yeah, why is a very important thing.
Yep. And there's so much out there for us that we don't need to pause our businesses and don our sweater of the local college and go to school full time. There's ways that you can take courses and classes on your own time, or in the evenings or during the day. You just have to make that time. EOS and traction. I mean, the book has I've come to recognize it's like a Bible almost. It's like a reference manual that you can read it from cover to cover. But for me, it was not something I could put into practice and see the perfect picture of how it works. And so I've going on 2 years now, almost. Almost 2 years, meeting with other integrators once a month on a Zoom call. And the meeting format is a EOS level 10 meeting. So people were facilitating a meeting of integrators talking about issues of how to run a business, and not what the businesses are, but how to run it, and asking the whys. And for me, that's been this year's best teaching tool I've had, was that peer sort of brainstorm sessions that happen once a month. And there it is. The book Traction's coming out, and someone's quoting from chapter 6, verse 5. And the Lord said, make sure you GWC your team, right? It's so great to have that there, but it's good to do that in collaboration.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
I think we learn so much from our peers, right? Good and bad. I got into the Service Alliance, and I basically said, if someone cannot go down the path that I went down, they can learn from all of my mistakes, then I'm doing great, right? Like, here's what I did. Here's why it didn't work. Try and avoid that. I think there's so much learning that happens in that peer world.
But learning, Zach, I think it's about learning about yourself and how you gain knowledge. What's your approach and style to become disciplined and consistent in the things that you do? So that's a whole sort of inner journey that you have to go through. Otherwise, you're going to be closed-minded, or you're not going to have an effective why process of what was that happened there. So you got to know yourself really well. You have to make sure that you don't get locked into one mentor or one teacher, like Rich Cardone. I like him a lot. I think it's all great, but sometimes there's certain parts of the way he looks at it, I'm like, I don't know enough to go and debate him on a stage. But I can tell you that at this moment, I'm not completely on board with his approach in this part, or this thing he's teaching on. And maybe I need more information. Maybe he's right. But for now, I'm not just going to blindly go into this all, because I do believe that AI, and we're going to talk about AI down the road here, right? Is it can make us become blind and sort of robotic, which we have to be careful not to do. So it's interesting. We're going to see a lot of stuff is changing so fast. And do I want to become the master at every part of business? I don't. I can't. It would take me my whole life, and it would be a waste of my time. Pick the things that I'm passionate about and learn it with all my heart, and be filled with joy because I'm knowing it well. Find great partners, and you got to know enough to take care of your business. How many famous celebrities lose all their wealth because they just blindly trusted in people to manage their money for them, and they had no idea that people were taking advantage of them? You got to know enough, but you don't have to become a master in every area. So I think, again, that journey of understanding yourself. What are the areas that get you super excited? Because you should just be the expert in that area. Go for it and be good enough in the rest.
Yeah, same thing can happen with a business coach, right? Like, I think there's value in having a business coach, but you can have a bad business coach. You can have someone who's not.
You can outgrow a business coach.
You can outgrow them. They could just not be a right fit to begin with, right? there's a lot of things that can happen with a business coach. So you really gotta screen that. I got friends in the HVAC industry that have, you know, that the HVAC industry is oversaturated with business
Yeah.
coaches. And I've watched them go through probably 7 different business coaches until they're now finally in a place where it's like, okay, we're jiving. You're helping me to
Mm.
actually grow. You're helping me to
Yeah.
understand these things. So it can take time to get into that position. And for me, I think I still think it goes back to that humility, right? If I'm working with a coach or a mentor or a teacher or whatever, and there's not humility, there's not that understanding that they're fallible, um I don't want anything to do with them, right? Like, yeah, there is confidence and I do know what I'm talking about to a point, right? Like
Right.
you have to understand that there's a point where you don't have
You
understanding.
got to keep dreaming, because some, like EJ here, right? Fractional CFO. You can have a very successful business person who's now become a coach, and maybe they haven't dabbled in your area. They need to
Yep.
be open minded to hearing everything. Now, maybe they've had 50 EJs before EJ, and now it's sounding like, okay, rookie statement from a business owner. Yep, and now you're not doing the why well. You're not
Yep.
doing the coaching well. That's that humility you're talking about, because you might find yourself surprised as you hear some new person going through it, seeing it from a lens that you don't see it from. And so you have to have that lifelong learning as a mentor, as a coach, because who knows what might start happening in that brain, right? Some brand new concept could come out.
Yeah,
You know,
heck yeah.
so yeah, fun stuff.
I love the conscious curiosity. I always call it conscious
That's what,
curiosity.
yeah.
And the reason for that is you need to be it needs to be at the forefront of your mind to be curious, to ask questions, to not just blindly follow whatever's being said, right? There has to be this curiosity, there has to be this questioning, if for nothing other than your own understanding. The more deeply you can understand something, right, the more you can actually truly implement it.
Now
And
we started overbooked, which is
yeah,
a few years ago,
yep,
and that group has been through a few books, many books now,
yep.
and so again, thank you, Zach, for getting me going there. But I can, with all the books that I've read now, which I never thought I would get through so many. So thank you for that. There's two types of reading that or learning that I go through. It's like two different zones for me.
Yep.
There was the best book best one, 21 Irrefutable Laws, love it, right?
Yeah.
But I read it with like this very broad, like, what can I absorb? And basically, and I probably should read it again soon, because things that I can identify with, I grab onto and run with.
Yeah.
And it was a character changer for me in running a business.
Yeah.
But then there's ones where you're weak in this area, or you want to be an expert in this area, and you go seek that knowledge out.
Yeah.
You're going to be, and like for me, a couple books I've read, I'm in full overdrive, absorbing it better than I thought I could, because my desire is to know it and to know it well. So there's reading and learning, like grabbing information that you connect with, and you're almost like fishing. And then there's precision learning, and I recommend that every year we all set a goal. What's an area, not that you're shaming yourself. Maybe you shouldn't even pick something that you're terrible at that you want to get better at, because that almost sounds like homework or working out. Why don't you pick something in your business that you get excited about and go and become an expert at it? And that could be, again, a book, an audible, it could be a class, it could be a webinar, it could be going to your local college and taking a course, not for maybe a degree, but taking a course in that area. Go for it. Set a goal and take it. Are you reading Saul's comments? Is that why you're laughing?
No, I'm ignoring Saul and Rob Jones right now. I'm ignoring.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
No, I'm laughing because counterpoint, I think you need both. I think you need that.
You definitely need both. Yeah.
You need that laser focus education, but I think you also need that thing that doesn't light you up, that doesn't interest you. Because I feel like you do need some understanding of that too, right?
Yeah.
You know, I think of our Facebooks and just watching the rhetoric that goes back and forth on Facebook, and I'm not even talking political. I'm just talking in general. You have people on one side and it's like, no, this is the only way, and then people, no, this is the only way, and they're like on these ends of the spectrum. And I feel like our education can be the same way, right? I'm super interested in this, so I'm going to go full throttle, and then you just become like this very narrow understanding. And in business, that's very dangerous. You have to have a broader. Yes, you can be a subject matter expert in a certain thing. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not ever going to be the dreamer, right? Like that is not my default, but I have to be able to understand the creativity and the openness and the dreaming, right? If there's some way to learn more and to be curious about that type, I have to be able to have at least some understanding of that, right?
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with going down the rabbit hole of understanding the flow of money, or understanding leadership, or understand, whatever it is within your business. But I think I really think you need both. I've always been the one, as I'm reading books, and I'm going through a phase right now where I need to be open to that curiosity and to that dreaming and to that creativity. I've been listening to the Dune books, the Dune series, right? Like, and I'm talking all of them. And because I need that mystery, that, fantasy, to help awaken the creativity within myself, right? That seems like a weird thing to do, but reading a book like that, just to open up your mind to possibilities, does so much more than just, study, grind, get better at this one thing. Like, I think it opens up the pathways to that type of education where you're laser focusing on sharpening a skill.
Well, I think what you're talking about is a very holistic approach, right? So like, if we want to imagine a typical appliance business owner, right, which at one time was Rob Jones, but he realized he couldn't cut it, so he stepped out, right, and got a corporate job. So, but the typical guy is the owner is just like you called it, grinding, taking care of the customers, ordering the parts, paying the bills, figuring out what's going wrong here, put out a fire. And there's that grind that happens. And then all of a sudden, you're like 60 years old, like Saul, and you're like, where the hell did my life go? Right. It's just gone like that in a flash of a pan. So you have to have some intentional, holistic discipline. And yeah, to your point, you're totally right, Zach. You have to replace something that isn't doing something for you, like maybe, trashing people on a podcast or something, right? Like substitute that with, again, broadly reading, but setting goals. You're the guy that got me setting goals.
Yep.
And I feel like we all should, and that was my point in that too, is set a specific goal for self-learning.
Yeah.
If you just say, I'm going to go and read and listen to 20 books a year, you're going to grab stuff, but you have to also be intentional about parts of it where you want to get better at it. But you're totally right. I don't actually, want to be the greatest, smartest person in one area, but I want to be able to be an expert in several of them because I want to be able to mentor my team.
Right.
How can you teach your team to take on your hat if you can't communicate that well, teach it well, and then coach them well? So there's all that has to happen too. And if you only, if you're okay at it, then you're not going to be a very good coach at it as well. So
yeah. Well, and again, the subject matter today is these non-traditional education methods, right? And I think the traditional education system has taught us to just not question anything and just, this is what the answer is, and it's black and it's white, and that's that. And it's so wrong. Like it's so wrong. This holistic view, this ability to ask questions and to seek a better understanding. It makes a difference, and it makes you a better teacher. It makes you a better human being. Because it allows you to have a better understanding of others. We were talking in the pre-roll about the better understanding now of people on spectrum, of people who are neurospicy, right? And how as a whole we are understanding that more, right? It allows us to communicate better. It allows us to be better human beings when we seek this more broad education. But yeah, you have to have a goal in why you're doing it. Because otherwise it's just you're aimlessly drifting and collecting knowledge. And I say that having been someone who has done that, just aimlessly drifting and collecting all this useless knowledge. And it's useless because I have no application to it. Goals and setting them gives you the direction and the way to apply it. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing to have a mindset that you're not going to be doing this thing forever. You're not going to be the tech forever. You're going to want to replace with someone else. And so you have to be wise enough and experienced enough to be a good coach. That's, as you shared, open-minded to how things are going since you've been off the road or since you've done that or not. So it's a journey, man.
Always. So speaking of the journey and non-traditional education, August 16th, next mastermind, talking about AI for your service business. Mike has been working very hard to put that together. And it's going to be a good one. He's been researching some tools. He's been testing some tools. I've been testing some AI tools. AI is not just chat GTP. There is a whole world out there. So if you're interested to learn more, these masterminds are free every single month to our all access members. servicealliancegroup.com. Become an all access member and join a group of other business owners in their journey of learning and understanding. Very excited for that mastermind on the 16th. And appliancerepairconference.com. Go check it out. We are teaching several classes at PSA in September. That's just a few months away, guys. That's coming up really quick. So go grab your discount and find out what's on deck at appliancerepairconference.com. We are very excited to be partnering with PSA to be there and to teach some classes and to learn ourselves. Should be a good time. Again, I'm excited for my friend Tom Howard to come and speak just launched a book and it's sitting on my couch. I was going to actually share that today. I'll share it next week. You want to talk about non-traditional methods of learning? He's bought several failing businesses. He's run several failing businesses and turned them around because he sought that education. He sought better ways of doing things and partnered up with people that, had great strengths that were needed in each of those businesses. So I'm excited to hear from him at PSA. So you got anything as we're wrapping up, Doug?
Nope, that's it. That's it. Have a great week, everybody, and keep on learning, right?
Yeah. Take care of your customers, and we'll see you next time on The Grind. Have a good one, guys.
Right.
Thanks for tuning in to the Morning Grind podcast by Service Alliance Group. Subscribe to our channel and make sure you visit our website at servicealliancegroup.com for appliance repair business resources.